Welcome back. I'm Dr. Elise Martin. Throughout this book, we followed a single idea from many angles: digestion, hormones, immune signaling, neurotransmitters, cellular timing. And as each layer came into focus, one truth became increasingly clear. Autism is not defined by what is missing. It is defined by how signals move, or fail to move, through a living system. In the last episode, we stepped back far enough to see the full map: the control nodes, the timing loops, and the points where the system deliberately slows itself down in response to perceived error. Often, that slowing is mediated by somatostatin, a regulatory peptide responding to inflammation, metabolic strain, or environmental load, whether acute or chronic. Today we address the question that naturally follows: if signaling can be restored, why doesn't it always stay restored? This episode is about why long-term repair is difficult, not because the body resists healing, but because healing never happens in isolation. One of the most persistent assumptions in medicine is that once a pathway is corrected, it remains corrected. But our biology doesn't work that way. The human body is an open system. Every day it responds to food, microbes, stress, sleep, light, toxins, infections, and sensory input. These signals never pause, even while repair is underway. For individuals with wide signaling margins, these inputs are absorbed quietly. For individuals on the autism spectrum, where signaling already operates closer to threshold, the same inputs carry greater weight, not because the system is broken, but because it is already compensating. This is why progress can feel real and meaningful, and yet fragile. The microbiome is not simply a digestive assistant, it is a signaling organ. Gut microbes produce metabolites that influence immune tone, vagal signaling, neurotransmitter precursors, and inflammatory balance. They shape intestinal pH, motility, and barrier integrity. In a regulated system, this signaling is rhythmic. It pulses. But when the microbiome is disrupted, through inflammation, impaired digestion, antibiotics, or chronic stress, the signal changes. It becomes persistent rather than rhythmic. And persistent inflammatory signaling is interpreted by the nervous system as ongoing threat. Chronic threat perception is one of the strongest drivers of global signal suppression. Many families experience partial success when addressing dysbiosis. Digestion improves, behavior softens, sleep stabilizes, yet full resolution often remains elusive. This is not because treatment failed, it is because dysbiosis is rarely the root cause. Microbial imbalance thrives in environments where digestive pH rhythm is altered, motility is slowed, bile flow is insufficient, and immune signaling is confused. Unless those upstream conditions are corrected, the gut continues to select for imbalance, even after antimicrobial or probiotic interventions. In this context, microbes are not the drivers, they are responders. Environmental stressors rarely arrive dramatically. They accumulate quietly from a lingering infection, low-grade inflammation, chronic sleep disruption, sensory overload, repeated dietary stress. Each one accumulating adds a small metabolic cost. Over time, that cost becomes meaningful. When demand exceeds margin, the body responds intelligently. It slows the system by upregulating somatostatin, a global regulator designed to conserve energy and suppress excessive signaling. When this brake re-engages, it causes the following. Digestive hormone release flattens. Acid secretion remains suppressed. Adenylyl cyclase signaling weakens. Camp tone declines. Calcium oscillations lose amplitude. And from the outside, this looks like regression. But from the inside, it is the body's form of protection. Linear treatment models expect permanence. Symptoms improve, and should stay improved. But systems biology predicts something different. As signaling improves, metabolic demand rises. Repair pathways activate. Growth resumes. This temporarily increases sensitivity to environmental input. So when symptoms reappear, it does not necessarily mean progress has been undone. Often, it means the system is active again, and still learning how to regulate itself. There is a critical transition point in long-term recovery. Early on, the focus is repair. Restore digestion, unblock signaling, restart rhythm. But once progress begins, the goal must change from repair to protection. Signal protection means preserving rhythm and margin rather than constantly pushing activation. It means reducing inflammatory noise, supporting circadian alignment, stabilizing the microbiome, and avoiding chronic overstimulation. It means helping the system stay online. There is often discomfort around the idea of ongoing support, but maintenance is not failure. It is how complex systems function. Vision requires lenses, blood sugar requires regulation, sleep requires rhythm and darkness. For some individuals on the autism spectrum, signaling stability requires continued environmental and metabolic support. This does not diminish progress, it makes progress sustainable. Long-term improvement rarely follows a straight line. It unfolds in waves, periods of growth, periods of consolidation, occasional regressions, gradual expansion of tolerance over time, margin increases, stress is handled better, recovery is faster, sensitivity decreases. Not because the environment disappears, but because resilience grows. Autism does not improve because the body is forced to change. When we stop demanding permanent correction and start supporting long-term balance, the system does what it has always known how to do: adapt, stabilize, and recover. And it does this quietly, gradually, and sustainably. Autism spectrum conditions are heterogeneous, and individual responses to environmental, nutritional, or metabolic interventions can vary widely. Any therapeutic decisions should be made in consultation with qualified healthcare professionals familiar with the individual's medical history and needs. This framework is a systems-level interpretation grounded in peer-reviewed research, not a prescriptive clinical protocol. This content and other content on this channel is for informational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult with a healthcare professional before making any changes to your health routines or treatment regimen. Thank you for joining me for this chapter of Decoding Autism Now. Your final thoughts for the day. Autism does not unfold because something is broken. It unfolds because a living system learned how to survive under pressure. When we stop trying to overpower that system and instead begin to understand the rhythm it is protecting, something remarkable happens. The brakes ease, the signals begin to flow, and capacity that was never lost quietly returns. This is not about fixing a person. It is about giving a system permission to move again.